Your one-stop shop for sports talk.
So I guess you play a lot of sports.
Sports, art, fashion, music.
Welcome again to TaylorMade Sports. Got a special edition today. Have my guy TK, Travis King. Can I call you an agent? What's that title I give you, Travis?
Man, I got a lot of titles, man. The agent world, I'm a senior vice president of independent sports and entertainment out in Century City, California. But I'm just a businessman, entrepreneur, man.
Say no more. That's a beautiful thing. I want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to listen to this young man. I call him young because he might be a little bit older than me, just a little bit. We go way back in the city of Memphis. So far back, it's crazy, but God is so good with what he does that he allowed us to be in positions where we are still in the game of sports.
Right.
Not playing, participating in the sense of running up and down the court or the field, or the track, but just making sure things flow well for our athletes of today. And so, first and foremost, man, thank you for coming. I know you got a busy schedule. I know
it's all good.
You know, every time I turn around, anytime I turn around, man, you out of town somewhere getting it in. One thing I do like the most about the trips that you take, the trips are business, but you take them for yourself. And so you find that time for yourself to get a special state of mind to work. People think when you're working and you're in the industry that's busy that you have to stay busy. No, you have to find that time for yourself. So I think that's a big thing that goes into that, and our athletes need to understand that early. I guess the biggest thing, everybody don't know TK, so let me make sure I break this down. Travis King, tell them who you are and your affiliation with the city of Memphis.
Well, I'm Travis King. I'm a 46-year-old brother from Walker Homes, and I moved out to Hickory Hill, man, when Hickory Hill first was established, and that was probably the best thing that ever happened to me in my life as far as business, because I had to learn how to deal with people of other nations, you know. Grew up, born and raised here, played basketball at Kirby High School, received a scholarship, Southern University, played on the first HBCU team to ever win a game in the national NCAA men's tournament in 1993. So basketball has been my life. You know, former AAU state chairman here, left Memphis in 1997 and went to Orlando, Florida, to start working full-time for the AAU at Walt Disney's Wide World of Sports. And then I got into the professional sports game by, luckily God graced me with a player by the name of Amari Stoudemire, who, by the way, we're going to China together. He just signed a deal in China, and we're going there Tuesday. But they got me into the pro game, man, in 2002, and I hadn't looked back since.
So give me that experience, because I want some of my parents and high schoolers to get this. Walker Homes.
Yes, sir.
Del Walker Homes went out to Hickory Hill.
3202 Alta Road.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
And the kicker about that is, strangely enough, that y'all was still county school then. Y'all wasn't even the city school then.
Old Kirby.
Old Kirby.
Different Kirby. It was 70% white, 30% black at the time.
No doubt, nobody would believe that these youngsters wouldn't understand that. They think it's been Hickory Hood all the time.
Nah.
It was really Hickory Hill. Like, there was real diverse. You were the minority out at the school at that particular time. And you had some notable guys that have left there, but at the end of the day, coming from Walker Homes to that area out there, how was that transition for you? Because, again, you know, these children are transferring to schools where you see people of your ethnicity that are sitting there. You walked into a school like, hey, I ain't never seen this before like this. So how was that for you?
Yeah, you know, the crazy thing is, me and my dad talked about it the other day. It made me who I am, because when I left Walker Homes and went to Kirby's area, I was going to Ross Road and Crump Elementary at the time. I wasn't white enough to hang around the white kids, and then when I went back to Walker Homes from the county, I wasn't black enough to be in the neighborhood. So I had to really fight for my respect on both sides, you know what I'm saying? And eventually people saw who my character was, and I was the same person, but it really built me into a person that, in my business, I have to sometimes be all things to everybody, you know what I mean?
Right.
I could be in the middle of the projects one day recruiting a kid, and then I could be on a private jet the next day with some business guys from McDonald's. So I have to be able to adapt to the environment. credit my dad with his vision of leaving the neighborhood and going out there and establishing their life.
Wow, that's a big boy move to go out there and do that. Being at Kirby, playing basketball, y'all had a pretty good team out there. Y'all really running the county out there. Every now and then, y'all, when it's time to go state, something like that, y'all will bump into one of the city teams. I ain't naming no names.
Hey man, look, Fairleigh had a great team, man. One of the best teams to ever play in high school.
No doubt.
1990 Fairleigh team. They beat us in the sub-state championship. Bad calls, but y'all, they had some bad calls over there. But y'all went on to win the state, and man, look, we're gonna lose to anybody. That's who we're gonna lose to.
Well, I think the biggest thing about the whole game was that we were still family.
No
like
question.
We traveled together all them years. I guess from 9th grade on, we traveled playing basketball. So it was really partners against partners. Like it probably ended up being a game like it was because we were friends. And I think children are missing it now. Like guys really don't like each other a lot.
Man, it's crazy. I was telling her, and it's the thing about Memphis, and I hope these people listen to this because I see a lot of these parents who didn't play basketball. Their kids are successful and they really excited, and the whole AAU thing and everybody trying to have a team. Listen, I don't even know if you remember this. 1987, I went to Boo Williams tournament with Orion Watson, Ernest Smith, Maurice Cannon.
Yes.
Those guys. I was just really a manager on the team.
Right, no doubt.
They lost in the championship to New York Riverside. But the very next year, your team, you were fifth. Y'all might have been 14.
Yeah. 88.
15, 14s, 15s, 16s, and 17s with Penny and Billy Smith and Anthony Douglas.
No doubt.
We won every age group.
No doubt.
For the next 3 years.
No doubt.
Never has that been done. And not only did we do that, we did that with all Memphis kids.
No doubt.
No border state kids.
No doubt.
We went up there literally and beat Chicago, New York, Detroit, D.C., L.A., all these big cities with every age group.
No doubt.
Now we can't barely win an age group. Now, I heard that those guys won the Under Armour thing, and DeJuan and Penny and them have been in the Peace Jam finals. But if we ever had a chance in the older age groups to put all those kids back like we did when it was just the Y and Idlewild, couldn't be beat.
Well, the crazy thing about that is you're making a great point because I find a disservice that we have so many AAU teams and YBOA teams out here all this summer ball. Another thing that kind of gets me a little bit, and you can talk about that because you deal with the pros. Don't you tell me your view on playing so many games like that, man? We ball, but we done playing a whole lot of tournaments like they're playing now. Some of those things I think are just too much wear and tear on the athlete.
You're totally right. You got to understand. I talked to somebody. They said that child played 100 basketball games last year. Then they played football and ran track. Now, if an NBA player plays 82 games and they have to rest their body 4 or 5 months,
no doubt,
and you have a kid playing 100 games in the summer,
no good.
This ain't even middle school ball.
Right.
See, what we did, we didn't have as many opportunities. Sometimes too much opportunity
ain't
is
good
not
for
good. Like, we were in the gym. The thing,
no doubt.
You look at all the injuries right now. By the time a kid gets to his rookie year in college, in the pros, he will have generally started playing AAU 4th grade. You're talking about 100 games, 800 games there. He's played 1,000 games in basketball.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Most guys don't play 1,000 games in their career.
Wow.
So you look at the injuries, man, that's a lot of wear and tear on your kids. And then nutrition might not be right.
No doubt.
A lot of fast food.
No doubt.
Not a lot of rest. So a lot of these things, man, is contributing to these kids getting injured, and they don't play outside. We didn't get a chance to play in the gym. We used to have to go out in the concrete. No doubt. We lucky we get to go play in the community
Big
center.
boys had the gym.
Yeah, big boys had the gym. We had to play outside, man, and make our way in the gym.
No doubt.
But now they got trainers and therapists and PT. They got every access to it, but I think there's definitely some kind of correlation between the injuries that you see in the league now, all the ACLs, MCLs, the Jones fractures, all that, and it's coming from playing so much ball. It was a great point, Mark.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you that again because this is a game that you're in. Like, you represent these guys.
Right.
So with that being said, talking about representing, give me your catalog. Tell me who you got so the people will know who you got. So they don't think I'm just sitting there with somebody I'm cool with. No, he has to be the right person.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I'm in the transition stage as far as my business. You know, when you have a portfolio in anything in life, you know, your portfolio might be 40% real estate, it might be 10% tech, so on and so forth. So our company, I've been in this business for almost 17 years, and chasing players was the first thing to do. Want to represent players. But for me, what I found enjoyment out of the last 3 or 4 years is not having as many players. Penny being a client has been the most fun. Building a brand, dealing with a coach, less headache, less babysitting, as well as, I'm starting to make, with our company, make some strides back in Africa. We started a project with Amari about 9 years ago, in Mali. Now we're back in Guinea, in Senegal, and developing some young players over there and helping them with an exchange program through Amari's foundation. So, my business is to represent players. I still have a few, but I'm more into the coaches right now and more into the brand building and event management side of it.
What players? Tell me what players. Can I have a couple players?
Well, again, Amari Stoudemire, Monte Ellis, Jalen Barford really are the only guys I'm currently working with on a day-to-day. In our company, you still have Reggie Bullock and a lot of other guys that I'm hand-in-hand with, but Killian Hayes is one of the guys that we'll have in this year's draft. He's playing currently right now in Germany. He's a projected lottery pick. So all of those guys are guys that I'm working with. But again, more of my attention right now is going to the brand building and business management side. That's why, an agent, I still retain my agent license. I still do deals. I just did this deal for Amari and with our Chinese agent in China. But I'm more into right now the business development side. That's the good thing about getting promotions and going from an agent and director of player personnel to finally senior vice president.
Yeah, that's big time. It's big time. Walk home, stand up. You already heard it.
Hickory Hill too.
Man. It is a phenomenal thing just with the conversation that you're giving out now. So let me go back. I want to talk about this. Where this come from? Where did this come from? Like when we were young, I remember a conversation of riding on the bus one time, and we'd be 15, 16 on the van. I call it the bus, on the van going across the country. Nobody realized that a bus could, think about this. That bus had, the 17, 18 on the bus had
Penny Hardaway,
Corbett, Dwight Stewart,
Randy
Carter, Mario Bell, Terry Alexander, Sean Rogers.
You had
Chris Patterson was on it. Was Chris on it? Chris
Patterson was on that team. You also had Jeff Sexton who went to Furman.
That's right.
You had Jason Fox and Chris Haynes that went to Memphis and played.
Right.
David Wilson.
Oh, no doubt.
What's up with David Wilson?
I don't know. I think Dave might be in Illinois. I don't know. I hadn't heard of Dave in a minute.
Yeah, that was a strong bus. But then on your bus, LaMarcus was that LaMarcus Gold and May Pooh, R.I.P.
Yes, sir.
Sid Henderson. Oh, my goodness.
Liz Haywood. Tony Delp.
Oh, my goodness.
Darren Jackson, Big D. From Fayetteville.
Yes, sir.
Mario Lucas.
Big Dwayne Jackson from Fayetteville.
Dwayne Jackson, that's right.
Anthony Jeffries.
And AJ, that's right. Simmons. Dennis played with us until he went full football, coaching in Oklahoma now.
Dennis Simmons.
Wow. Yeah. So on that particular bus that we're talking about, you had those star caliber athletes, man, traveling, and we be cramped in there. I mean, everybody's 6 foot and above, and we going to Boo, which is what?
Man,
17 out. Yeah, 17 going up there. Yes.
Yeah. Getting out the bus, whooping folks.
So that's what I was about to get into. So think about this, and I think we were talking about that when you talked about rest. I just kind of feel sometimes that, the situation might be, a little bit different from what we're used to dealing with. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of look at those things, and try to figure that out with the students with the players because they don't normally get rest. But I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you a couple seconds to get that thought together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go on pause and we're gonna pick right back up and we're gonna go into that.
Do your thing, bro.
Yes, sir. Once again, I'm back at you, TK the man. Want to go back to the question that I had for you when we were talking about, I guess the students and getting the proper rest at a particular time.
Mm.
Playing all the games and getting the proper rest.
Yeah, I mean, the key thing, man, is just, nutrition, obviously, with the kids. Kids don't eat a lot of fruit and, got so much fast food. But all that plays into part of being an elite athlete. Nutrition, rest, conditioning, strength, and obviously playing the game. But personally, I wouldn't be paying my kids 100 games in the summer. It's not worth it. They need to be working on their game a lot more than playing the game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Practice. They always say it, man. When you practice hard, it make the games easy. So, it's all good to play a lot of games and get a lot of competition, but just going to some of these tournaments and beating up on teams, it'd be better rest for them and watching film and learning the game too. You still can't just play. You need to learn about the game, and that includes your mind, body, and your soul.
So one thing I was gonna hit at is, going back to the All-Stars that were on the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Man, in AAU and these tournaments and all this kind of stuff, why do we go to tournaments where they play me at? I play the last game and then I come back the next day and I'm the first game almost, especially for those teams that come from out of town.
Yeah.
That makes no sense. You keep doing it, man. That's, again, the wear and tear, not just physically, but mentally, man.
Especially Memphis team. We ain't never been able to play at 8 o'clock.
I tell them all the time, you want to get us, this how you do it.
Yeah, and people have learned that, Memphis
Yes.
teams, we just don't play well at 8 o'clock, I believe, is because a lot of times you got a lot of cats from the street, they be in there shooting dice and staying up late,
No doubt.
Broke up plenty dice games throughout the years.
No doubt.
And taking part in a few, but
No doubt.
again, 8 o'clock games, 3 games in one day, you just can't do it. And ultimately, it's just like anything else in life. These guys are throwing these tournaments to make money. So there's only so many gyms, there's only so many times that you can play in a weekend to cram games in. So, again, I would get away, and that's why I like the EYBL so much.
Okay.
And a lot of the summer circuits, they got away from tournaments and went to leagues.
Right.
4 games, what you're playing, they don't put you in, for the most part, at bad times. But yeah, I mean, league play to me is better because it means you're playing for something.
Right.
Because again, you go to a tournament, you lose in pool play, and you got to stay there 2 or 3 more days, they're going to turn the hotel room up.
No doubt.
Or morale is down. The good thing about playing league play, now, yeah, we lose 3 games this weekend, but we still got 15 on our schedule. So, it gives you a reason to come back, regroup, don't act up, stay together. So, I like tournaments, but at the end of the day, I'd love to see more younger kids go to league format as opposed to just playing these random weekend tournaments and think they're doing a lot. And really, you're going out there and competing against 2 or 3 teams at your level.
You know what? It brings up a great point because I want to lead me into my next question. How do we stack up talent-wise, especially in basketball, to the rest of the nation? I mean, your honest opinion, because you travel the world. I think parents and peers need to hear this.
So this is the honest to God truth. Take me being from Memphis out of it. Take me loving this city more than anything out of it. We're doing a docu-series right now called Welcome to Memphis. And I put this, I told a TV producer last night that I saw at the Pink Party that's shooting a Bluff City Law.
Okay.
I told him Memphis, pound for pound, has the best talent in the world.
Wow.
And I say that like Paul said it in the Bible, strong and boldly, because we have 42 NBA players and ABA players that came from this little small town on the Mississippi River.
Wow.
If you compared our size to New York, which is a city or LA that is 10 times big as Memphis, and you take that number and do it times 10, we would have 420 players that have played in the league. And that's unbelievable. So when you look at a Nashville, they may have had Nashville, bigger city right now, more money, right?
Right.
Same state.
Right.
Nashville might have 4 or 5 guys that played in the NBA. Just think about that. 42 from our town.
Wow.
So, and again, you can look up and down the Boo Williams record, which this tournament has been going on since '84. So you're talking 35 years. Never in their history has a program, let alone from one city. Because even when we were playing you talk about playing New York, they got cats from all over the state.
Yeah.
They not just in New York City.
That's right.
I mean, you got people from everywhere. We're from one town
Memphis.
at the time that was 400,000 or 500,000 people, and go up there with the 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and beat everybody.
No doubt.
Take all the trophies.
Every
back home.
championship.
So that alone, we got the best basketball.
Wow.
We got the best fans.
Wow.
We don't have the best facilities.
No.
We got the best coaches. We
Wow.
got the best legendary coaches.
Wow.
We got the best talent. But unfortunately, something about this town too, and the guy told me, I ran it by him, the thing is, it's not just basketball. This town has 3 things that is world renowned, and that's basketball, music, and crime. And I say that to say,
It used to be barbecue.
Excuse me, 4 things. Barbecue still what it mean used to be. I don't eat pork no more, but our brisket don't stand up down to Texas brisket. But man, we still the barbecue kings. But music, Justin Timberlake, Elvis Presley, Al Green, Aretha Franklin, Isaac Hayes,
B.B.
Marquez, B.B. King, 3 6 Mafia, the only rap group to ever win an Oscar. You know, Moneybagg Yo Gotti, biggest hip hop guys in the business. You know, you look on the charts now, Block Boy JB, NLE. I mean, we consistently mute producers, Drummer Boy and David Porter. And I mean,
I just saw Drummer Boy Wednesday. Saw him downstairs. I hadn't seen him in years. He's class of '90 from Fairleigh.
Now, Drummer Boy went to Cordova.
Hold on. So,
Drummer Boy went to Cordova. He definitely come out at 90.
hold on. Which one? Okay, Drummer Boy. Hold on. What's my guy? Carlos Brody.
Okay, yeah. Carlos
Brody.
Hughes.
Yeah,
Hughes.
Brody. My
Hughes.
bad, Brody Fairleigh.
Hughes.
Yeah, Brody.
Hughes.
Yes,
Zay
no doubt.
Tovin. People think Zay Tovin from Atlanta. He actually from Memphis.
Yes.
Lou Williams in basketball. People think he from Atlanta.
No, he from
born in
Memphis. Yes.
So that's basketball, football. Then basketball and
Music.
But then when you look at crime, you know,
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Nothing to be proud of, but the fact that
Yes.
Lil Craig is, America's most wanted for all those years.
Yes.
The biggest crime figure probably in the black community. People think it's BMF, and it was him.
Yeah.
You look at Ronnie Woods and Steve Woods and G Train and the Mayor and all these guys. I mean, like, they ain't nothing to be proud of, but something about this town and the hustle and the grind and the grit and the soul that it has. It's just a special place. So we're doing a docuseries on that, and we're going to compare Memphis basketball. That's why we did the Memphis Basketball Legends Weekend.
Right.
Now next summer, Amari, we're doing the Florida Legends Weekend.
Okay.
And the docuseries hopefully will cover each major city and their music and their basketball guys, the ones you know and the ones you don't know.
Right.
Yeah, so.
That's going to
Really only 5 of our 42, though, have made it.
Wow.
Think about that.
Wow.
I mean, Penny, Thad Young's made more money on the court probably than anybody. Elliot Perry, Cedric Henderson, Todd Day. I mean, we talk success stories.
No
Todd
doubt.
still coaching, Ced's coaching.
Yes.
Chuck works for the Grizzlies, part owner. Penny,
Very successful.
Penny.
Yes.
We throw Andre Turner in there, had a successful career, a lot more overseas.
No doubt.
Lester Hudson, we would say Lester's a success story. He had a heck of a career and then playing in China, did well for himself. But still, out of 42, we ain't even, 25% success rate. What's the problem there, GT? Why are these guys not successful?
I'm gonna tell you one thing that we've got to really, really be serious about and understand, and it's good you brought that up because I don't think we practice enough on being the greatest. We practice on being that guy that we see. See, basketball is global. Football is global. Soccer is global. And I think a lot of times in Memphis, because we have been the best for so many years, we'll walk in facilities and say, if I'm beating dude around the corner, then it must be something different. So that's what we kind of battle with all the time. So I think that's the biggest thing. So I think here with my guy, Travis King, the man,
No, sir.
the legend,
No, sir.
Walker Home's finest, Hickory Hill's finest, Memphis, stand up for your boy, Travis King. Travis,
What's up?
we back live talking, man, and just really trying to figure this thing out. I think we were talking about why our players aren't successful
Right.
out of Shelby County, out of Memphis, Tennessee. Name we forgot, Tony Dumas. Remember Dumas?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Shouldn't
And
have
Domas-
definitely not forgot that.
Yeah, Dumas spent time in
Dallas.
Phoenix for a minute.
And Dallas.
Yes, and Dallas, right. Yeah, can't forget that. Yes.
Domas was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Major factor.
It's 6'6", 6'7" out there.
Yeah.
Long,
We're
wiry
gonna
kid.
count him in Memphis, but he really from Millington. Man. I ain't gonna never hear nobody from Memphis claim somebody from Millington, but we gonna claim Domas.
Yeah, no doubt. He traveled. He was
Nah, he
on
was our
team.
guy.
Yes.
Nah, he was our guy there. I'm just saying,
What you said?
Yeah,
Hadn't had that in a
Yeah,
minute.
ain't gonna say Millington, Memphis.
Yeah.
Millington. They still, he wore Memphis on his chest.
No doubt. But yeah, so our children nowadays are competing against a partner across the street and not the guys nationally, man. That's what we're losing. And so when you say we go to these AAU tournaments and stuff like that, and we're not have been in a conversation in a long time as a whole, is because college coaches, and you know this, like, man, I know he can ball, but his attitude, I saw him talk back to the referee, or I see the parents up there, they cussing and clowning and cutting up. Is he really worth that chance? And so let's say you have a couple of them that get a chance to tip it to the league. They don't really have that foundation. Everybody's almost dependent on that young man or young lady, even though we're talking about sports as a whole, to make it. So that's unneeded, undue pressure on somebody. So a lot of times I feel like we fail at that. I know I threw a couple of things out there, but at the end of the day, that completes that makes the total athlete, man, from your upbringing, from your parents, from the situation you're in, and then getting there, you're not prepared for it. I think they're not prepared for it. That's why the show is important. That's why this interview is important, because out of all that you represent, that we talked about, one guy from Memphis in a sense.
Well, no, I mean, I've represented a lot of the guys from here. I represented Scouts,
Okay.
SCA, I represented
Okay, right.
Cam Payne, Jarnell Stokes, Adonis Thomas. Most of the guys that were getting drafted over the past few years I've had.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, and that's another thing, it's like
Talk.
you represent these guys, and the difference between me and most agents is I catch these kids and build relationships with them and their families through AAU because they played in the program that most of them play in the program.
No
that
doubt.
I developed with Will Anderson, at Lemoyne, and then was given to us by Coach Bobby Dodd and Coach Julius Robinson. But this business is such a snake business.
Yeah.
And Memphis, I hate to say this, but we are a crab city.
Yeah, we're crabologists. That's my word.
And the fact that
Crabalistic.
you can build bonds and be there for people, and in an instant they turn their back because they won't take responsibility for their part in the situation.
It's tough.
As an agent, my job is to do deals. My job is to manage careers and get them into certain situations. And I really had never been fired from a client until it was a Memphis kid.
Wow.
You know, the biggest joy in being an agent is the first two guys I got in the business with to this date are still my clients and are my younger brothers. Amari Stoudemire, Sean Williams. One had one hell of a career,
Right.
6-time All-Star. The other should have had a hell of a career and didn't listen.
Right.
Still a little brother, you know.
No doubt.
The brother gonna grab his ball and run home sometimes when you tell him to reel, and it might take 10 years, but we still together.
Right.
Both were at my Legends weekend. That's
Right.
what I do it for.
Right.
I never got in this business to make money. Although I made a lot
Yes,
of
sir.
money,
Been blessed.
I didn't get in it for money. I
Wow.
got in it because I was washing uniforms and driving teams with Will up and down the highway, and I wanted to give back to somebody because I ain't have a daddy around to take me to AAU practice. I had to stay at the gym when I got dropped off by my granddad at 8 o'clock at Ridgeway until we went to Guale's late at night and get dropped back out because I ain't had no ride. So I did it because somebody took the time to mentor me through basketball, and it eventually morphed into a career. But when you put your emotion, because a normal agent, they recruit you, they Jerry Maguire you, they agent you, they sell you, they talk fast, they do your deal, and you don't hear from them but every now and then.
Wow.
I'm ingrained in my clients' lives. They're
Wow.
my family.
Wow.
And when family crosses you or chooses to leave for no other reason than they think somebody else's ice is colder or the grass is green. The grass ain't always green on the other side. The grass is green when you water it.
Right.
And that over the past 3 or 4 years, because for the first 9 years I never lost a client.
Wow.
And I'm humble enough to say the past 2 or 3 I've lost 4 or 5 clients, mostly from Memphis.
Right.
A couple that weren't from here that cost me $4.5 million. That's real money.
Wow.
Guys that you've been with, undrafted, been with 5 years, and then somebody whisper in their ear, somebody else get paid off of, and then for 2 months they can be with another guy and get a $1.5 million commission that was really owed to me. I was the one who helped the career. But what God got for me, nobody can take away, and if I didn't get it, it wasn't for me. So that's why the shift in where I put my time and energy, where my portfolio is going, is another direction. Because
Right.
I'm tired of putting time into people that aren't appreciative. And because this world is a selfish world. This basketball and sports marketing world, it's a me, me, me.
Okay.
You know, what can you do for me?
Right.
And then the minute you can't do something for me, I think somebody else can, they go. Now the loyal ones, the LeBrons, when you can see somebody say, hey, these are my guys, they gonna be my guys, regardless. The Carmelos, the Chris Pauls, the guys you see that make it for a long time, there's no coincidence that the people they came into the league with on their management team, family members that were all part of their management team are still there.
Wow.
When you look up and you see these guys that had this manager the first year of his career, and this manager, and he bringing this part, it doesn't work. And unfortunately, I think a lot of these guys, this is what they go through. You know, Memphis, like I said, the crab part of it transfers over to just the loyalty part. That's why, if you look at it, my core business, Penny, known him and played basketball with him 31 years.
No doubt.
Now we working together as his agent and we do his marketing. And Mari, I'm going to fly halfway around the world. Really, I'm going to be in a 17-hour flight to China to help him make sure he gets his contract cool. Stay there for 4 hours and get back on the 17-hour flight back to Memphis so I can make sure I'm here for Lamar and Owen Tone coming to support Will. That's what I do for my clients. You know, I don't have to fly there, but I want to make sure that this guy who's never been there with his family is good. You understand what I'm saying?
No doubt.
And Sean Williams. So the guys that put me into the game, I'm still with 20 years later. That's what it's all about. Because you're gonna have ups and downs. And one of my clients, Ricky Hood Sr., said something one day to me. He said, man, it can't rain forever. Sun gonna come out one day. And
Yes,
I
sir.
think a lot of people give up before the sun comes out. And I think that's been a blessing to me, man, over this last 2 years coming back and just reshaping my mindset on sports management and event management and getting back into the things I love to do. Reshaping that portfolio to not chase some of these knucklehead kids so much more and just get with the loyal ones and build their brands. It's easy to dig a diamond mine deeper than go get 10 mines.
Wow. So let me ask you this, and I think we touched on this, and I'm going backwards because I got to because you sparked my mind. Give me college, man. How did you end up at Southern? Walk me through that. Like, tell me about that. Kind of lead me up to being an agent. Give me that little walk down. Like, how did you end up being at Southern? What changed your mind with that?
Meaning, what you mean?
So
Obviously, I went to Southern. It was the best HBCU in the country. Shout out to the Jaguars.
yeah. I saw you see your picture all the time on the sideline.
We love y'all, baby.
So my question is, you know, being who you are now, did you see that when you were at Southern University?
Nah, I saw this, man, when I was sitting out on the corner of Alta Road and King Road and Walker Home selling vegetables, man. When I was 7 years old, I knew I was gonna be a big businessman. I knew I was gonna figure it out in basketball. Once I picked up a basketball, 5 years old, East Memphis YMCA, Shady Grove, it was nothing else for me. I'm 46. I've never had another job outside of basketball. One time I worked for Shoney's for 2 weeks, still was working, playing basketball. I was 15 years old, working at Shoney's. My homeboys were about to go to Studio G on Friday, and I had to wrap silverware, and I quit. That one for me. But other than that, man, this is all I ever wanted to do. Now, it took me a conversation. Penny talked about it. Me, Penny, and Coach Dodd were riding back from AAU practice, and Penny was talking about the NBA, and I think he was a senior. He was like, man, I got a couple more years. I'm finna go to the NBA. I'm like, I'm right behind you, Coach Dodd. I said, shut up, man. You're a Rudy Poo guard. I said, what? I said, man, you're a 6 foot guard, man. Y'all come a dime a dozen. Penny 6'8" guard. You don't find that. He said, the only people gonna make money out of sports in this truck is Penny and me. At the time, he was president of the AAU. And when he said that, I said, man, this man got me mixed up. I'm gonna make me some money out this.
Right.
Now, I thought at the time it was gonna be playing.
Right.
But as I got into college and I saw, and I might not be playing, let me learn how to throw these tournaments. Let me go ahead and try to become the state chairman of AAU, first black chairman in the state, youngest chairman in the country of all the AAU.
Wow.
So that's where I decided, hey, and he always showed Will and I like, yo, you can make a good living in this business. You got to put the work in. You ain't going to make NBA player money, but hey, I live an NBA lifestyle, though. I can do everything they do.
No doubt.
So,
No doubt.
I trace it back to those two things. Hustling at 7 years old and being an entrepreneur selling vegetables. And then, 17 years old, me and Will running basically the YMCA league over at Ridgeway and the soccer leagues and learning how to run leagues and tournaments. I think that was the key that led me to know I was going to be something in business in the sports. The agent piece came in. I get that to one of my former girlfriends. I was running Coach Calipari's camps at the time and got into Amari was about to go pro, and I really didn't. I was just an AAU guy. It was just the thing. I like being around the tournaments in the street with the kids. I didn't think I wanted to be a business guy. And then basically, she said, "You're wasting your talent. And what do you want to do?" I said, "Well, I want to be an agent, but I don't know how to do it." And I went to sleep. When I woke up, she had every agency in the country, email address, president's name, had a file for me, and started calling. And I got 2 interviews out of that, and one of the guys chose.
Wow. Wow, that's big time. So who was the first guy you dealt with?
A guy named Will. I can't even think of his last name. He's from Detroit.
Okay.
And that lasted for about 3 or 4 months. So the first assignment he gave me, I knew he was crazy. And I had to find another guy. And they always says one thing. My pastor say, learn something on the way to learning something. The best time to get another job is when you got a job. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So his first assignment with me, he was a Detroit lawyer, one of them typical Detroit cats, man, wearing gaiters. He thought, he was a smart cat, but he didn't know this business. He was just getting in himself. And he said, man, all right, by Friday, and I think I quit a $36,000 a year job at the time. Wow. take on. He offered me $24,000 in commission. And I had a family. I was like, man, you know, I had kids. I'm like, man, you have to grab them if you're gonna lose half your salary basically to jump on a whim on a commission bid. And his first assignment was I need the top 50 NFL prospects and the top 50 NBA prospects, all their phone numbers and email addresses by Friday. I said, well, is there a book or something I'm supposed to get this from? Like,
yeah, man.
Get their phone numbers and email. Like,
yeah, how you do that?
Okay, I'm gonna get Reggie Bush phone number, email, just like, you know. And he was dead serious. I said to myself, man, this dude don't have a clue. You know what I mean? And by the grace of God, my former boss that I worked for 9 years, he was recruiting Sean Williams, one of my players that I was at the time, you know, just kind of mentoring. Sean was at Hamilton at the time, and he called me and said, man, I just met this dude named Happy Walters, and he an agent, man. You need to shake your guy and get with this guy. You know what I mean? And I said, well, set it up, and he did. And so I'm forever grateful for, you know, to Kelly Devine for looking it up and giving me the first job, and Sean Williams putting me with Happy Walters. I give that him. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't have been with that guy. I wouldn't have had the career that I've had.
Wow. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. I think that with that being said, man, you make the city proud.
Appreciate it.
With what you do. Parents and children have to understand and know where you came from to get to this point. Wherever you go, you always represent Memphis, University of Memphis, Memphis State, however you want to call it. We all the Tigers.
Lamont, everywhere. I don't
Yeah,
just
you heard them. You heard them, Lamont.
Southwest, everywhere.
Just rep.
Man, this city did a lot for me.
Yeah, said, and so for you to be world renowned right now and traveling the world in a sport that you played, but continue to have a hand in it has blessed you tremendously, not just for you, but for your family and those close to you. Is a testament to your perseverance and your fortitude to get out here and make that thing work. So, most definitely, man, here in the city of Memphis, we're ultimately proud of you, Travis, and the people in the city of Memphis, the children, the young folks, the parents, and the coaches. Appreciate the fact that now they know somebody they can touch that is in the same room with some of those guys that are making decisions with sports. And they can actually touch you. They can put their hands on you. You're interested in what's going on in your city. Not all the time do you find that. A lot of guys make it big and don't come back to Memphis like that. You said you come back to Memphis anyway because you're trying to get something steady going here anyway, which is going to be outstanding, not just for the city and the people that you're going to bring to the city and the excitement you'll bring to the city, but with the knowledge that you bring. Because my concern is not just for the parents, but for the coaches as well. Like, it's time for our coaches to get better.
No question.
We don't have what we used to have. We got some good guys out there, but we got to get them.
What we used to have, you know. But you know, and I appreciate all the whisper and the recognition, GT. But I appreciate you. You know, again, we all had a part of this, and I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, sir.
You've done a lot for this city. You're a humble brother. And you do things out of your heart, and you got a wealth of knowledge, wisdom, and talented. You know, I mean, I guess I gotta go and break my pocket. I gotta start buying my shirts from you, man.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Put an order in. I'm gonna put it out there right now. I'm gonna put an order in and get 5 shirts for my guy because I'm slimming down. I want to look good.
Yeah, I see you getting sexy in the city.
I'm a shop with my guy, but the fact that you got all these guys, man, I just want to. I'm proud of Memphis, period.
No doubt, no doubt.
The fact that you here, the fact that Chuck is with the Grizzlies, the fact that Sid is over at Southwest, Will is at Lamont, like the White Boyd is on the staff over there, Matlock's on the staff, Rodney Hamilton's on the staff.
Wow.
You know, you look up, you know, it's just, you know, you got so much stuff going here. Willie Gregory, like,
no doubt.
He doesn't get
the
enough.
OG.
He's the biggest OG in the city. Like, everybody wearing Nikes don't realize this man is one of 4 guys the black guys that was the first guys hired at Nike.
Teach.
It's unbelievable.
Teach.
You know, and right from Lamar Guards, Booker T. Washington.
No doubt about to say South Memphis stand up.
Yeah, so end of the day, Fred Jones, one of the biggest promoters ever in the United States, got
No
one
doubt.
of the biggest events in the United States. And I just talked to him one day and soaked up some game when he came out and we would present him an award. You know, the one thing, and I had to tell my daughter this the other day, and she doesn't listen all the time, my oldest daughter, and I said, you know, God gave you 2 ears to listen and 1 mouth to talk, and he did it for a reason. Like if there's one thing these younger kids can do, and these parents, when you around people that are in a business or in a lane that you're just getting into or you're just having one experience with, you know, humble yourself and take the time to ask people questions and listen to what they say. You might not do what they tell you to do, but at least listen, because that typical, man, I know, or they trying to do this, or, you know, they trying to clout chase on my child, or do, you know, one thing about it, you know, I don't take this lightly. I've had a great career, 20 years in basketball. I don't feel like outside of Penny and the guys that play pro basketball, nobody has the experience that I have in the professional world of sports management and basketball.
Right.
Jimmy Sexton is by far the biggest in football, probably the biggest in the South in the sports agent game, and somebody I look up to for, you know, wanting to be at that level. But
Right.
as far as this basketball thing, I got a lot of wisdom and a lot of knowledge and experiences that I'm currently passing on. I've got some interns that came out of my event on that Friday that I've gotten with.
Legends Weekend.
Yeah, some really sharp young kids that go to Lemoyne and to University of Memphis that I'm going to groom into this thing because, man, I'm tired. I'm tired of running up and down the road. I want to build some businesses and help some
No
young
doubt.
people
No doubt.
get an opportunity, because I didn't have anybody teach me the game. I had to learn the hard way.
No doubt.
With 2 guys that just jumped in the business.
No doubt.
I didn't have Rich Paul got a chance to sit up under Leon Rose and Steve Human at CAA. He
Yes.
2 of the biggest agents in the world. I didn't have that mentor, so I could just look at if I would have had the opportunity to sit under some guys that had knowledge.
Yeah.
I could have skipped 10 years of mistakes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no
so
doubt.
that new generation of kid here in Memphis is going to be a better and bigger Travis King and Jimmy Sexton.
No doubt.
And I want to hopefully have a part in helping them reach that goal.
Okay, that's what's up. Look, man, on behalf of TaylorMade, you already know how I feel about it. TaylorMade show.
Yes, sir.
Well, we are the antidote to adolescent athletics. Woo! I give
like
it to
it.
you all the time. Yeah,
Like
it's
it.
my
Like
coin, man. Yeah, I
Like
was
it.
sitting there, thought about that. We are
Trademark that.
yes, sir. The TaylorMade show is the antidote to adolescent athletics, man. And to sit in with a guy again of your magnitude from the town is awesome. And I thank you so much, Travis, for sitting in with your boy. And
Appreciate it,
I want everybody out there to know TK is my guy. We're looking for bigger and better things. I'm gonna put him on the spot. I talked to my guy P. He said we're gonna get together, and it came off one of the Marcus motivational minutes. I was standing there with him. We was at the Civil Rights Museum.
Yes, sir. I saw that.
Yep. So we're supposed to do this conference, and people get prepared. Young men get ready. We're gonna do something that hadn't been done in the city of Memphis. TK, Marcus Taylor, Anthony Hardaway. We're gonna get together, Penny, and we're gonna have a conference for young men that's going to touch their mind, body, and soul. Once your athlete sits in this conference with the 3 guys that I have named, it is going to be life-changing, and it's going to make you a better athlete, a better person, let alone a better man from that point forward. So we're looking forward to that thing. I will be putting on Facebook, tweeting out, Instagram, and I know Travis will be doing the same thing. But it's going to be real big, guys. And I know you're probably going to get excited. Once we put this video out, it's going to be something large. So, again, we thank you.
I got a couple things. Let me
Yeah,
jump
get it
out.
out.
Hey, look, follow me on IG, International T King. Follow me on there. And I got a huge day party at the brunch at the Rail Garden next Sunday. Legendary Sunday. The last Sunday of every month, we're at the Rail Garden, something different. Memphis Domino Championship, Memphis Spade Championship, Memphis Uno Championship. Great food. DJ Just Born, got some legendary DJs.
Wow.
Come out. This time we're supporting Lemoyne Owens alumni in the basketball program, so money's going to go to that when you come out and support, but it's something for all ages over at the Rail Garden.
Every last Sunday in the month.
Sunday, brunch, bottomless mimosas, just come out, day party, 3 DJs. You got every kind of game you want. We got the football games on outside, man, on the 100-foot screen. Unbelievable time, man, for you and the family.
Ooh-wee. So it's going to be called the last Sunday set.
No, legendary Sundays.
Ooh-wee. Legendary Sundays.
Yeah, we legends.
Legendary Sunday
Yes, sir.
at the Real Garden.
Yes, sir.
Every last Sunday of the month.
Yes, sir.
Wow, this big time, y'all. We all on one line. I love you more than you love me. If it ain't so, prove it.